The laughter cut deeper than I ever imagined. It wasn't the audience that wounded me. It was her, standing on the stage, microphone in hand, radiating confidence, smiling like the world was hers. My wife said, "Some kids inherit greatness. Mine comes from him." The crowd erupted. Then my own son leaned forward, mimicking her tone. "Dad, don't embarrass me again." Applause, chuckles, the kind that lingers. I smiled outwardly, but inside, something shifted. Not anger, not humiliation, but a quiet, resolute spark. 3 days later, the school principal called, voice trembling. The main sponsor, my firm, had pulled out. She didn't know it yet, but that was the first step. I met Laura 11 years ago at a charity gala. She was magnetic, loud, intoxicating, everything I was not. I admired her, misread her pride as confidence, her craving for attention as charm. I shaped a life around her desires. Grand house, glittering social circles, everything a reflection of the spotlight she adored. She thrived on admiration while I remained the silent architect behind her world. But over time, I noticed the sidelong glances, the lingering smiles aimed at others, the subtle digs masked as jokes. "You're too serious," she'd say over wine. "Without your money, you'd be insufferable." At first, I thought it cruelty, only to realize she meant every word. It started small, missed calls, late nights at school meetings, a perfume that wasn't hers. She was sly, but I was patient. I didn't confront. I observed. One evening, her laptop lay open while she hurried to pick up our son. A single message glowed. "You were amazing last night. Wish I could have stayed longer." Mark, the school's event coordinator. I stared at the words, not hurt, but awakened. The betrayal wasn't private. It was performative. She had made me a joke, expecting me to remain silent. I said nothing. Weeks passed. I played my role, smiling at dinners, paying bills, driving our son to school, while quietly dismantling the foundation she relied on. I started with the sponsorships. The school's entire budget depended on my firm. Laura's reputation at the school, her little kingdom, crumbled with the removal of those funds. I notified the board discreetly. Budget adjustments, corporate realignment. Silence, no fanfare. Next, I investigated Mark. Married, 2 children. I sent anonymous screenshots to his wife, who worked at a local newspaper. Within days, Laura's secret was ash, scattered by the winds of exposure. The day everything collapsed, she came home trembling. Threatening calls, furious principals, whispered accusations. She searched my face for anger. I offered calm neutrality. She had trained the world to mock me, but I had learned to wield silence like a scalpel. While she scrambled to erase evidence, I prepared the final document. Divorce papers, meticulously organized, custody and assets balanced, the house and accounts tied to my company. When she signed, thinking she was leaving quietly, she walked into a life already dismantled. Her consultancy contract, the foundation of her independence, dissolved. Weeks later, she was renting, her reputation in ruins. 2 months on, I attended another school event, this time as a guest. My son stood on stage, performing. He saw me in the crowd and gave a nervous, proud smile. No jokes, no mockery. Just his gaze and the weight of truth. Laura approached afterward, frail, disheveled, voice barely audible. "You destroyed everything." "No," I replied. "You did. I just stopped defending it." She blinked, comprehension dawning. "You think this makes you a hero?" I shook my head. "Heroes need applause. I prefer results." "You've turned our son against me," she accused. I didn't have to. He watched. Justice doesn't arrive with fireworks. It's quiet, precise, surgical. No witnesses required, only careful patience. Sometimes I replay that night at the talent show, her laughter, the applause, the public humiliation. It used to sting. Now it feels like the spark that ignited the fuse, because she believed the world could mock me without consequence. Laughter fades. Funding disappears. Alliances shift. When the lights dim and applause dies, The one left in the shadows is not the hero. It's the one who built the stage. I never yelled. I never smashed anything. I observed, waited, calculated. Now, whenever I pass that school, the sponsor wall stands empty. Silent. Perfect. Revenge doesn't need announcement. It lives quietly, elegantly, in the void left behind.